So we're still looking at units of measurement in the US customary system, which is the American form of measurement. But this time, instead of talking about length, we're going to talk about weight, what the weights are in US customary. Okay, so you do need to memorize these two important conversions, okay? So you do need to know that 16 ounces is 1 pound and that 1 ton is 2,000 pounds. And the way that I remember roughly what a ton is, it's about the weight of a small car. If anybody's seen my car in the school driveway, my car is probably about 1 ton. Most of you probably drive much bigger cars. Maybe that might be a fun project to figure out or to look up how much your car weighs. But mine might be about 1 ton. So we're going to do the same thing that we did with length. We're going to look at converting from one unit to the other, but then also comparing two different measurements to figure out which one is bigger or smaller, or if it's the same. Okay, same trick, always the same trick. I write underneath the problem what I know about the conversions. So I know, in this case, that 1 pound is 16 ounces. Don't ask me why the abbreviation for ounces is OZ, but it's kind of fun. Okay, so if 1 pound is 16, then 8 times more would be 16 times 8. Now, you do not need to know 16 times 8 in your head, but lucky for you, you do know how to do long multiplication. And when you're doing conversions of weight between ounces and pounds, you're going to notice that you're going to multiply by 16 a lot. You may even start memorizing some of them because you're going to do them so many times. Okay, so 8 times 6 is 48. 8 times 1 is 8, plus 4 is 12. So 8 pounds is the same as 128 ounces. All right, so we're going to do some comparisons now, and same strategy. I'm going to write down what I know. So I know it's between pounds and ounces that 1 pound is 16 ounces. So if that's the case, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to convert these pounds into ounces, because like I said, for the length questions, it's much easier to convert to the smaller unit than to convert to the bigger unit. So I'm going to want to figure out how many ounces are in 2 pounds so that they're speaking the same language on both sides and I can compare them. So if 1 pound is 16, then I'm going to have to multiply 16 by 2. Some of you may know that in your head. If you don't know it in your head, go ahead and do the problem solving. Don't just guess. Do the problem solving on paper. That way you know you're getting it right. And I know that 2 times 16 is 32. So 2 pounds is the same as 32 ounces. So gosh, that one is way bigger. 2 pounds is way bigger than 2 ounces. Okay. Next, we're going to go 4 pounds to ounces. What do I know? I know that 1 pound is 16 ounces. So I'm going to convert this one into ounces, so they're speaking the same language. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 16 times 4. Now, if you can't do 16 times 4 in your head, which I highly recommend you don't, and then we're going to do it on the side, 16 times 4. And by the way, when you're doing working out, I love to see this sort of thing. Don't worry if it's right in the middle of your paper. That's great. That just shows that you're really trying to problem solve. And I can see it that way. So 4 times 6 is 24. 4 times 1 is 4, plus 2 is 6. So I know that 4 pounds is actually 64 ounces. So I don't need to worry about the 4 pounds anymore. I can compare 64 ounces with 40 ounces. And guess what? Once again, we're facing that way. So 4 pounds is more than 40 ounces. 2 more to go. Let's look at ounces to pounds. Once again, what do I know? 1 pound is 16 ounces. I'm going to convert my pounds into ounces because I want to convert it to the smaller one. So I'm gonna have to do 16 times 12 once again. Make Miss Lee happy. Do all your working out on the paper. 16 times 12. So 2 times 6 is 12. 2 times 1 is 2, plus 1 is 3. Place marker. 1 times 6 is 6. 1 times 1 is 1. I'm going to add my columns. 2, 9, 1. So I know that 12 pounds is actually 192 ounces. So I'm going to ignore my 12 pounds and just compare ounces to ounces. Well, guess what? That's an easy one. 12 pounds is way more, because 192 is way more than 18. All right, let's forget about pounds and ounces just for a minute and look at tons. Now, what do I know? I know that 1 ton is 2,000 pounds. So if 1 ton is 2,000 pounds, then what 3 times more would be 3 times 2,000? Now the way that I'm going to do 3 times 2,000 is kind of fun. I'm only going to multiply my whole numbers there. I'm going to forget about my zeros. 3 times 2 is 6. How many zeros do we have? We have 3, so I'm going to put those on the end there. And so I know that 3 tons is 6,000 pounds. And that's not asking you which one is bigger or smaller, that's just asking you to convert from tons to pounds. Okay, that's it.